64 at it again. I say the number every single time.
And I always forget.
You do, but you know what? I always look too. But now that we have these new shiny show notes, courtesy of our pals at Rocket Punch, shouldn't be an issue because there it is, big bold episode 64 at the top. You can't miss it. True. Welcome. What's going on, everybody?
Hi.
Who is this? Who's this guy?
Who's this bearded man?
Who invited this person?
This bearded man.
This bearded individual.
So yeah, we found this guy on the side of the road and we're like, yo, come hang out with us for the night because it was something fun to do. So allow us to introduce the bearded bee.
What's up?
How you doing, bearded bee?
Good, man.
You were very bearded. Like, I know there's levels of beard and like, you got like the whole, what's the dude from Rudolph? What was that guy's name? Remember?
Rudolph.
No, in the Rudolph cartoon, like the Christmas Rudolph.
Yeah.
Remember there was the dude with the pickaxe?
Yeah.
You're like, just shut up. Just stop talking. You know? No, go ahead and tell us about yourself, man.
So I'm a software developer by day, game by night, dad, do all those fun things, hang out, chill.
Mm-hmm. What are those priorities? Let's just make sure priorities are in check.
Chill is always first.
Priorities are chill, right? And then dad, and then, get that work in and some gaming on the side.
That's true.
Gaming on the side is always good. Brendhan, right?
Yes, sir.
Brendhan, Bearded Bee, yep. Jay, Salty Cat, Dan, Ad. What a friggin' week in games.
What a week indeed.
It was a week.
It was wow. Finish your thought, Jay.
How many of us here, show of hands, chat, us, show of hands, how many people took the day off to not play Destiny, to be put into a queue?
Or did take the day off, but were unable to play Destiny.
Why do people think that is a good idea? Every time a major title launches, there is going to be a queue. We all know that. Why do people still insist on it and then say that they want to sue Bungie because they paid for the deluxe edition and they want it right now?
It blows my mind. It really does.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Like my Twitter was filled with people complaining about it. Yeah, exactly. I played Apex.
Yeah, dude. I posted on Twitter. If you read, I posted on Twitter yesterday. I said, or on launch day on Tuesday, I put on there that I didn't play. I was stuck at work all day, and I didn't even preload it. And I got home and I put my daughter to bed. And at 8 p.m. I loaded in, and guess what? I instantly was able to play, instantly. And what I said was the game launched at I think 2 p.m. Central or something, 1 p.m. Central. And by 8 p.m., I was able to play it with no issue. But people were complaining that the 7 hours that it was down for, that they wanted their money back.
I'm just saying, there was a tweet I sent out, I think Monday, that said, hey, here's what's probably going to happen because it happens.
Do you remember what happened when Apex launched?
It was like broke the world, right?
Right, because nobody could play it. And it's the same thing with this. Like, why did you think that you were just going to load in and you were going to be able to play?
And I think it's one of those things. People get wrapped around the axle, and I saw all kinds of the angry tweets about this, that, or the other. And it's just kind of like, you can't really plan for this kind of stuff. To a certain scale, you can. But, I mean... Well, be realistic.
Think about what they did though. They launched Shadowkeep, but they also launched First Light at the same time.
Right.
And that's a big undertaking.
It's basically two games at once, right? You're launching a whole new set of stuff for the existing players. Plus, you're opening up the old stuff to new players, right? That was a huge influx to the servers.
Sure.
Like that alone.
I liked it because there was like all the streamers that were like, I was expecting to stream this all day today and you ruined my subs and all this other stuff. And like I said, and the big streamers who've done this before, like the Gathalians and the Bromans, were all like, dude, this was expected. We all knew this was going to happen.
Well, and never mind the fact that the platforms. You're talking about pretty much two games, Shadowkeep, New Light. You had Steam. You had PlayStation. You had Xbox. You have Stadia. We can't blame Stadia. It's Stadia swap. That's what it is. That's what we're just going to call this. Blame Stadia. Hashtag
blame Stadia.
Hashtag blame Stadia.
We already got the we already have the name of the episode.
Yeah. See, that was easy.
Super easy.
But I think people were kind of you expected too much for this not to go off without a hitch. And fortunately, I'm really happy I had some other circumstances happen outside, or I might have been a little bummed, but I expected the hiccups to kind of come with the first day with all the content coming. But there were other games to play.
There were. So we had Apex Season 3 launched, which was huge to launch right alongside Shadowkeep. I mean, that's a big thing. But, you know, I mean, how perfect can that be, though? Like, oh, you're having problems over at Destiny? Why don't you come and play Apex? Let's show you what we have over here.
Were there any issues? Did anybody hear of any issues with Apex launching?
I didn't play Apex until I played with you guys last night.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have any issues day one, though. I mean, granted, I didn't get to it till about 8:30.
And theirs was more just kind of like a season change, not like a big launch that Destiny kind of underwent with the new platform, the switch from Blizzard and stuff.
Stupid question. I know we're probably going to talk more about Apex, but stupid question. Can you still play the old map? Is it like, does it go back and forth?
It's gone.
It's gone. Full swap. Okay.
Now, they have alluded to, it was an interview I saw with the Respawn CEO about it possibly coming back, because they also talked about potentially another mode launching around the same time this new season started. Haven't seen the new mode, but they've talked about some of that stuff kind of coming up in the future. But it wouldn't surprise me to see like that kind of switch, you know, over for like a week, you know, or a day or something. It's kind of one of those things I think that they can kind of play with, but their biggest fear is going to be splitting that fan base, or the player base in this case, like PUBG. You know what I mean? PUBG's friggin' player base is all over the place. They've got 3 maps that they can kind of play. You know what I mean? I think kind of the way they're doing it, centralizing everything, is really the way to do it. I mean, it's working for Fortnite. I hate to say it, but I think they're following the cue from that.
It seems that to my understanding, for the most part, it's the same map with a different skin. Some of the buildings and stuff have changed, but the general overall layout. So reskinning it and swapping the buildings back probably isn't too big of a deal. So, you know, even if they do have both maps or swap back and forth like a month at a time or quarterly or something, it's probably not a huge load to do that.
Did they do any more characters too? I know they did the one. How many new characters are there?
You got the one, what's his name? Crypto. Yep. Crypto, he runs the same price as everybody else. His kind of special thing is he can put a drone in the air that I'm waiting for them to nerf the hell out of it, because this drone, I think, can go pretty far, and you can mark enemies and all that other stuff. And it feels like it can get pretty far away from you. I'm surprised. And one of the ultimate thing for it, basically, is that it can, I want to say, take shields down to 50%. Is that right?
I know it can mark enemies and you can see stuff, but I haven't actually played with them yet, so I don't know all of its capabilities.
I know Luke used it. I know he was using it last night. I only got to see it a little bit because we only played a couple games, but it looks pretty cool. I don't know, man. That game is still sweaty, like super sweaty. I don't understand what's going on. Dan.
I'm here. I had cat crisis with the family. My son was like, hey, go talk to mom, please. Go let mom know. You know how that kind of stuff goes.
Dude, this is what it's like being a dad and playing video games and doing podcasts.
It is. I'm just glad he didn't walk himself over here in underwear and show up right behind me in webcam.
Yep. Banned.
Twitch banned. Boom. See you later. It's been real. Thanks for playing Twitch.
Time to go to Mixer.
But just got in. Well, I guess we'll just hop right into the Apex stuff. I've heard that's the second or third time I've actually heard somebody reference it kind of just being a reskin. I see it, but I don't. But I tell you, I like the colors that they went with instead of kind of the bland, barren look that we had with that original map. I forget what it was called. Kings Canyon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the color palette I like a lot better. I like the geyser. The train thing is amazing.
The train thing is epic.
I like that.
Just absolutely epic. The moving pieces that are rideable, like that's incredible from an engineering point of view.
And everybody's landing there.
Everybody lands there.
Yeah. Everybody is definitely landing there. I do like Crypto. I think he's a great addition to it. Like I was saying, I'm pretty sure that one's going to go bye-bye. But I think it's good. The season launched without a hiccup. And I'll be honest, I wasn't even planning on getting the Battle Pass for this season. but I was going through the skins for it, and they have really upped the skin game, I feel like, with a lot of these characters coming around.
Oh, yeah. Worth getting the battle pass then?
I think so. Like Pathfinder, he's an icicle. He looks like a popsicle in one of his levels.
Oh, yeah. I saw that one. That one's really cool.
But I think it's worth it.
There.
I won't. I still won't do battle. I won't do battle passes. I won't. I just don't like them. I just don't. I don't know. I'm one of those people. Dan knows it. I'm one of those people that I just won't throw money to get a bunch of skins. I don't survive in that game long enough to be cool, to look something cool. So,
okay. So let me ask you this. Obviously, with knowing that you don't want to buy the skins, what if? And this is, well, it's not really a what if. In Apex for the battle pass, you actually get enough currency in game that pays for the battle pass that you could either buy boxes or other things with. Does that change your mind at all?
Not really.
I mean, I think if there was a way to earn the in-game currency for the battle pass, I would probably do it.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess, yeah. But see, I don't really, even that, I mean, Dan, when we play, like, I still have trouble dealing with that currency and trying to figure out how to buy characters and how to buy whatever. Right. So maybe if I understood it a little more, but yeah, I would agree to that. I guess I can't be so quick to say no. Because if I could use it to customize things how I wanted to, maybe, yeah, that'd be different.
Yeah, their currency system is kind of weird because you've got, I forget what they call, like the little, you got the crafting materials, and then you have like the little red materials that basically you can buy the characters with, and then you got Apex coins. And each one is for a separate thing. So the crafting materials are strictly for like weapon skins.
Sure.
And can you buy? Yeah. You can use crafting materials for character skins too. But they really got it kind of branched out too much. I wish there was just one universal currency for the entire game. And at buying characters aside, I can understand that one. That kind of just made that stuff more accessible because you can't buy any of the crafting materials if you want to go that route. If there's an exotic, so to speak, flatline skin that you want to buy, you have to have crafting materials, and you can't buy crafting materials directly. You've got to earn those in game or through loot boxes.
I see they also kind of have like a battle pass type thing for Shadowkeep too.
They do. Now, is Mr. Destiny, does that change your mind?
No. I have never once bought silver ever. Destiny is a game that I pay for. I'm more inclined to pay for something that's a free game to help support it. Right. I will never buy loot crates or silver or like something from a company that I already paid for the game for.
Right. Yeah.
In Destiny, the first year of the battle pass stuff comes with Shadowkeep, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. And then it's $10 I think for each additional season.
But you know what's funny? Did you notice? Okay, I don't know how you guys look. Like when I got Shadowkeep, so I purchased it online. I didn't buy a deluxe edition. I didn't buy anything. I just bought the base model. Yep. And what's funny is that it gave me an entire set of armor and an exotic hand cannon that you can acquire through the battle pass. Like I already got it.
So those are your pre-order bonuses.
Yeah.
I didn't. Oh well, I guess I didn't pre-order it though.
I did the same thing.
I bought it after launch.
Yep. I did the same thing.
So, I think the pre-order bonuses ran through day 2 of launch.
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
Okay, so they might not be accessible now because I did the same thing and I was like, oh, it's going to be pre-order bonuses. I'm like, wait a second. Okay, so it's out today because I got it yesterday. And it was just kind of like, okay, maybe they're just kind of, because that happens sometimes. They do that big push to get everybody to pre-order, then they extend what you can get for a while longer and yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm. I think some of it too was the fact that like the servers were actually down for way longer than expected on launch day.
Sure.
So I imagine a lot of that had to do with.
Yeah, I saw the cry for a disconnect emblem.
Dude, right. The artists went absolutely crazy. They drew like pictures. You see all the pictures of like Crota like pulling the cable out and everything.
That's awesome.
Server cable, yeah.
Oh, yeah, so it's like the Crota cheese but in reverse.
Yeah, they did it to us and Crota was like, "No, dude." So, okay. Well, I'm not going to derail. I'm going to go off of our nicely concise.
Oh, we're going to go back to it now.
Okay.
I mean, we already derailed.
I am not allowed to derail anymore. Like now I have like a roadmap I have to follow.
Yeah. It's in nature. So yes, one of the big things that we wanted to point out right off the bat, we were talking as we kind of get some reorganization stuff going on here, is we are definitely an audio podcast first. who records on Twitch and live streams on Twitch and streams games on Twitch. So we just want to kind of put that out there, especially kind of with the chat sometimes if we don't address something right away. Our plan is to kind of cover some of the chat stuff towards the end and kind of focus on the audio bit because that is where the largest audience for us is. Right. And then secondly, do you guys have anything to add on to that one?
Just, say that those of you in Twitch will see the bot kind of talk about that, the bottle post and the bottle post things. We also have, while we're on Twitch, a bunch of new commands. So if you're on Twitch, you want to be able to find us on your podcasting client, just do an exclamation point and then your client name, and it should pop it up, as well as just the podcast, Discord and Patreon commands as well. So.
Yes, because Brendhan has pretty much revamped our Discord. That's updated. Mm-hmm. So if you're not in our Discord, make sure you hit that Discord command. You can get in there. He's kind of revamped our Discord. It's awesome. All the streaming services that we're on now too, you can get from there. All kinds of other stuff. He's hooked us up in the Twitch mod stuff as well. We thank you for your hard work.
Absolutely, that's what I do.
And then Jay, we've got some stuff coming up, right? Well, kind of one big thing on the calendar.
Extra Life.
Extra Life.
We're going to go hang out with our buddies over at Rocket Punch.
We are. I've got to get the dates confirmed with them. I want to say it's end of October, early November. I'll double check the dates and post that out there.
27th of October through November 2nd.
There you go.
I'm gonna say this here and now.
Go for it.
I'm gonna say it here and now.
That you're gonna be filling their tip jar?
Well, probably from afar, because actually my sister is getting married that weekend. I will for part of it. So I didn't know the dates. So we'll talk about that off the air.
Yeah. But do. We will be part of it, though.
I'll bring my Switch and I'll stream Fortnite or something.
You have to stream it from your phone. Somebody Facebook living over your shoulder while you're doing Switch.
I'll just stream me getting drunk in Vegas. I mean,
that works too.
That works. That's right.
That works too. IRL.
Nintendo needs Twitch integration.
Just make sure you go into a bathroom.
Yeah. I'll stay out of the adults only, the clubs, the gentlemen's clubs.
Yes. Make sure you go into a bathroom. Make sure I guess I could probably even get banned off Twitch for saying that now. Don't go into a bathroom.
Don't go in a bathroom. Just okay. But no, Extra Life, we're going to hang out with Rocket Punch, to stream with them. Yeah. Well, you guys are, hopefully. Maybe I will too. I don't know. If I can get back in time, I will. Because I said I was going to do an art stream. I really wanted to. Yeah. I'm going to get with those guys and see if there's any donation incentives I can do as far as if there's donation incentives for doing artwork and stuff like that. That's what I usually do for these kind of things. So keep an eye out for that as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess kind of rolling on to the next note, Bearded is actually with us on this show because we're doing a trial run to see if he's going to be joining us full time. We've been looking to add another host to the podcast for some time, more perspective and stuff, since we pretty much have left the land of console gaming for the time being. Dan's not going back anytime soon. Jay,
and because of the fact that I'm consistently inconsistent with my stuff, so now Bearded here to help me.
We've got some help.
In case I can't make it. I know, it's exactly beautiful,
and we got the culture and stuff. So we're looking at bringing Bearded B on here full time. So let us know, send us some feedback, how he did, what you think. Do you want to see him again? Do you not want to see him again? If not, it could be tough cookies. He's probably coming back anyways.
Come on, guys.
But support Bearded.
Be gentle.
Be gentle.
Hashtag support Bearded.
Right.
Absolutely. There we go.
All right. Said, they're switching off console right now. I'm pretty much on.
We are, and I owe you actually an Elgato before my my little emergency visit this week. I'm going to get an Elgato out to him because he's going to do some streaming for the podcast as well onto our channel because we're actually close to hitting our affiliate status, which should be really soon.
Which means we're going to be looking for an artist to give us some emotes and stuff. I mean, I can only do so much.
Oh, yeah, no, I got it covered. Don't worry. You saw my bear, right?
Dude, your bear is tight. Yeah,
bro.
If anybody wants emotes, get a hold at Adderall and
don't
Twitter.
Do not throw that out there because that is
he'll draw you the best. He'll draw you the best bears.
That is going to be an episode lore forever. Mm-hmm. Anyways, back to what we're playing.
Hashtag bears for days.
So last time I got to talk about this on the Rocket Punch cast, but I wanted to fill our listeners in who didn't do the crossover episode. Modern Warfare. Bearded, did you get to play that at all?
I didn't. I did not get a chance to play the beta.
Okay. I'll keep this one kind of short, probably because, well, it's a little bit in the past, but I will say it is by far one of my favorite Modern Warfare Call of Duty games to date. It definitely feels a lot more on the Rainbow Six Siege side with vaulting, opening, closing doors. Feels a lot slower. I just feel like everybody forgot to tell the guys programming the character movement speed, hey, we got to slow things down a little bit because characters are still hopped up on Mountain Dew running through the maps 100 miles an hour.
It's
Outside
early
of that,
yet. I mean, it's still the beta. Give them a chance.
it is. But yeah, how'd that whole beta test work for what was that? BioWare Anthem.
Ooh.
Yeah, I went down that road. That beta didn't work out too well.
Just that horse just needs to be buried, man. Don't keep kicking it. It's fine.
It does. I'm just saying, like, that game, man, I tell you. But I like it. I don't know that it would be a day one purchase for me because at the end of the day, Call of Duty is still Call of Duty. And I don't think you can get away from that. One of the modes that I did like was the 2v2 gun run. I forget. It's essentially, it's 2v2. You and a partner are put in kind of a small map. You start with no weapons. You got to run, find a map, kill the other two on the other side of the map.
Their running gun mode or whatever.
Yep. Which is awesome. It's like a mini battle royale.
Yeah.
And I had a really good time.
Is that the one that's going to be PlayStation exclusive at launch, or is
no? That's a different mode. That is we've got that actually. Oh yeah, I've got that in the news to talk to. That's the Spec Ops mode. We'll definitely hit that when we touch on some of the news. Interesting you brought that up though. That is a PlayStation exclusive for a year.
Must suck to have an Xbox.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, those things need to die. But I will say, my favorite thing about it, and this is amazing, is crossplay worked wonderfully. I played on PC. I played with my buddies who played on Xbox. Flawless. Just linked up with the Call of Duty accounts that you have, and we are in party game, good to go. And this is for the beta. And I was really impressed that it was working right out the gate. So much so that I saw some rumblings. I don't know if anybody else can kind of touch on it. That Sony has basically said, okay, the training wheels are off. Crossplay is developers go.
I did read about that.
Sony officially announced it on their blog.
Mm-hmm.
So the actual PlayStation blog put out a news article about that. It is a go for all developers. Crossplay is open season.
Now we just
they had
to see how long.
They had to. I mean, they couldn't like hold that back for that long. I mean,
I can't imagine with the number of other games, Apex, Destiny, you name it, saying, hey, we're going to have crossplay. In the past few months, Sony, they had to have known, right? Sony had to have been telling the big studios, hey, we're going this way. We're going to be, opening it up. So get prepared.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the writing was on the wall because you had, was it Fortnite that flipped the switch a couple months ago or something like that, where it was like, oops, crossplay was enabled for like 20 seconds. And that has like really set everything into motion, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
But I was impressed with how good that worked. I think the floodgates are open now for that to go. That's amazing. But yeah, it's Call of Duty. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked it enough though that I will wait for it to go on sale before I pick it up. Probably.
That's
just Call of Duty
my
now.
Normal modus operandi, right? Like 6 months in.
Yeah.
Those AAA titles.
It's going to sell well, too. Like, that's the crazy part. And there's some other news we'll touch on here in a bit. But it's going to sell well because it's a Call of Duty title.
And they all do. All of them do.
Okay.
Black Ops, Modern Warfare.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And then the other one that I've been playing, and we'll touch on, too, we'll kind of have our Destiny stuff. I think we'll piggyback off you, Brendhan. I'll save the Destiny talk for you. But Planetside Arena launched in early access. It's like, I really think it's more like a Halo kind of battle royale kind of game. It's free to play, early access. You know how all that stuff goes. Of course, but you can buy stuff. Don't worry. You can already buy stuff off of microtransactions.
Of course you can.
I have not played it in about a week or so. I did get a couple games in, but they're aiming for like 300, 400, some 100 player battles. And it seems to handle quite well. The graphics kind of remind me of Borderlands. And I think that's kind of to keep the frame rate up with the amount of stuff that you could have going on with the netcode and, and the FPS and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's a decent free to play to check out, though. I would definitely check it out. I don't know what the big changes have been here lately. But outside of that, it's been Destiny, but I've gone on too long. I'll piggyback off other people. Jay.
So is Planetside, before we move off of that, is Planetside the one that's based on the EVE Online universe, or is that different?
No, that one. So Planetside, and I never played any of the original, like the Planetside games, because that's what apparently some of it is based off of, but not too much, because then hardcore Planetside people are like, no, it's not, X, Y, and Z. It's kind of like its own take on stuff. Like, for example, it's, land-based combat. You've got vehicles and stuff. You've got like a Destiny Sparrow that controls like you're driving a Lego block. The thing's terrible to control, but like you pick up cards instead of weapons out on the battlefield that give you upgrades and stuff. Some similar stuff that you kind of find in other battle royales, but it's free. It runs all right. It's not going to peel me away from Apex, I'll tell you that much. But that's kind of what I got on that. Any other questions about those two?
Nope.
Jay.
Destiny. Yeah. So I already said before, I loaded up Shadowkeep. I started playing it, and I didn't make it very far. I only played it for a couple hours. I've been working otherwise, so I haven't been able to play it. But
when you say when you say a couple hours, are you doing story or are you just doing other stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
I started the main mission and started playing it, and it's a lot dark. Like it's got a very eerie, uneasy feeling to it, which is cool. I like that. I really wanted it to be that way. But most of all, dude, the nostalgia of going back to the moon from D1, because the map is still the same. It's the original map. It's still Archer's Line and the Anchor of Light and all that stuff. It's the same thing. So I spent most of my time like walking around the map being like, oh, I remember this. Oh, I remember that. And I'm going, but yeah, it's exactly what you would expect it to be. It's a new story. It's a new campaign. The menus are impossible to navigate because we have to relearn them all over again. Mm-hmm. The AI, or what do they call that? The menus, all the menus.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Bearded, you know what I'm talking about, Bearded.
Yeah.
Like, what's that called?
The
UI.
Directory.
The directory. Yes. It's impossible to like find anything anymore again. But no, the story seems pretty cool so far.
So
it's creepy.
I just made the jump from console to PC. And dude, like between F1, hold tab, go here, go there, man, the menus have thrown me for a loop. Do you like it, Jay? As somebody who has been playing it for a while?
Way easier.
Yeah?
I use controller, so it's the same thing. I'm just watching myself on Twitch, and that's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. No, just trying to, for me, it's always trying to find everything. Like, where's this now? Where do I keep these now? And like, how do I go about it? And that's where I always have the trouble, because they relocate everything. I mean, but now they added to where now you can go to Eververse from your menu if you want, and they added some cool quality of life things, which I thought was pretty neat. But yeah, I'm just learning to navigate everything all over again. They do this every time. Every time there's an expansion, they redo the interface, and it's really hard to like try to figure out, but it takes you a couple days and you figure it out. So, but yeah, I like the new infusion process. That's beautiful. Thank you, Bungie, for not making me have to go get 25 phase glass needles and then 5 infusion cores or whatever the hell those things were and all that other crap. Now you get,
because I have not looked into it yet, and I was assuming I had to have X, Y, and Z to start infusing stuff.
No. To infuse things, you need one thing, and that's it. It's beautiful. You need, I forget what it's called. It's called like an infusion, like that. You need one thing.
Gunsmith, right?
You can get them from a lot of different things.
Okay.
I got a couple from like doing public events. You just get them, and the light rays on it was amazing. Like, so basically, if you haven't played it yet, what's going to happen is, and this is not a spoiler for anybody who hasn't played yet, but what's going to happen is when you go to your vault, all of your gear in your vault is going to be 750. Yep. Which sucked because I saved so much stuff, thinking I was like, I have to infuse stuff. No, you don't. It's all 750, everything. And you go from there. But what's really weird is all the random drops out in the world, like the blue engrams and stuff like that, they drop at really weird increments. Like you can find a blue engram that'll be like 751, and then the next one you'll find will be like 805. Like it's crazy. But they made the leveling a little bit easier, I think, which is nice because we needed that, because those enhancement cores and shit like that was garbage.
So I think that was one of the things they mentioned, right? Was it what they wanted the initial level up to like 850, I believe, to be fairly easy, and then that last 50 was the
which is going to be hard. Sure.
Yeah, right.
And you're supposed to do that. It's 900 soft cap, right? And then above that is the pinnacle weapons and all that other stuff.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Which is what they should be doing. That's how Destiny 1 couldn't get to that high level unless you got some of that higher end gear, you know, the raid gear or the trials gear and stuff like that, where you had to do those activities to get to there. And I like that. I know people whine about that shit all the time. Like, well, I don't want to play trials to get the gear. Well, now you do. Sorry, but you do. Yeah. You don't just get everything handed to you, you jerks. But I like it. Like I said, I think okay, so I didn't play Destiny 2 before Forsaken, so I don't know what that was like. When I first loaded up Forsaken, that was the first time I'd ever played Destiny 2.
Okay.
So I didn't do the other two. I didn't, I bought the pass where I could get them all, but I never played through the campaign of Curse of Osiris or the Warmind. And this one was a huge jump for me, specifically going from Forsaken to Shadowkeep. And like I said, I love it. I love it when they give new content. I'm not one of those people that will like play the hell out of this game for like 3 days and max out right away and then complain that there's nothing to do.
Right.
Like I want to savor this. Like I want to just play the story at my own pace and do what I want to do. And, I'll eventually do the raid and all this other stuff. Dude, there's still raids that I haven't done yet in Destiny 2. Yeah. But I like it so far. I'm having fun.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the reason that they put the soft cap at 900 was so that there's people who tend to just grind out all the way up to the top, would have more challenge at that, right? I mean, you got to get other people who are already up there and run the raids and actually, do that. It's going to be a lot harder to do that day one unless there's a group of people they're doing.
And they gave us back some Destiny 1 Crucible. Yeah. Oh, that made me so happy.
They did.
Playing Widow's Court. Oh, that brings me back right there.
I, for one, am thrilled. And I know you've got another game you want to touch on, but just since we're on the Destiny train right now, Bearded, you are first time Destiny, right?
Fresh off the boat. Yep. I picked it up, 3 weeks ago.
Did you play Destiny 1?
Didn't. Nope. So
so you're brand new.
He's fresh off the boat.
Wow. Okay.
Coming in from the islands,
what do you think?
No knowledge, right? So, I mean, I think this change is absolutely fantastic, right? It's a way to bring new players up to a level where they can actually compete and be active and play with the people who have been at it for a long time, their friends who are in it, they're, bringing the light level up, evens the playing field. I'm playing through all of the old campaign stuff right now, and it's not overly easy, right? So they've left the challenge in if you want to play through the campaign, but you want to get in, you jump in right into Shadowkeep, you want to jump into, Crucible and Gambit and all of the player versus player stuff or player versus environment stuff. You're not going to be, behind just because you're just starting out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's one of the good things too, is with when you would launch previously a new expansion for Destiny, there was that race to hurry up, get high so you can start doing the new content. I like how they kind of leveled the playing field for this one. And exactly for what you said, you can hop right in with other people who have been doing it for years or doing it for months, or if you're brand new, you are on the same starting page day one. So I think it was a good move that they did.
Mm-hmm.
And I have brought my light level up far more in the past couple of days from the Shadowkeep launch than I did from when I started playing before, right? So I was less than 100 before, playing for a couple of weeks, 5 or 6 days total. I'm now over 800.
Yeah. Nice.
Right, in a couple of days. Or right at 800, I guess.
That
total of
pretty
maybe 10 hours.
Jay, is it a little disheartening to see blues being your primary source of power leveling again?
No, because since I'm used to playing, I know that whenever they do this kind of stuff, you get the blues, and then you have to find your infusion material to get to the armor that you want, to make your guardian look the way you want it to, and to get the guns that you're comfortable with. You have to go through the process. I mean, this has been like that all along since day one. There's a certain armor set that I like to wear. There's a certain loadout that I like to have, and I can collect those blues, and I can keep them until I can find the infusion material to switch them up to to have my own personal set again. And I like that though, because that's part of the grind.
Yeah.
So I mean, no, I don't like losing blue guns, and I hate the way my guardian looks wearing blue armor, but it's what you got to do.
There's an end state. There's could be a set of armor that you're going to get that, okay, this is what is for PvP, PvE, raid, yada, yada, yada.
I do. And I'm one of those people that I have a set of.
Yeah.
I'm that kind of Destiny nerd.
So have you
that's
tried?
Something we should talk about more, because that's something I am like, not necessarily today, but in the future, because that's not something I'm, super familiar with. So it's something I'd love to learn from you guys. Right. So let's, put a marker on another show doc and dive into infusion and all that stuff.
Because that's actually a good lead in. Jay, you probably use like some of the Destiny item managers for the phones, right? Like Dim or Ishtar.
Yeah, I use Ishtar Commander. That's my personal one. If I'm playing on PC, I use Dim. But normally I use Ishtar Commander. There's also a new one of my buddies actually developed called Little Light, which is the same thing where they do loadouts, where you can actually you can pre-select a loadout on your phone, and with one button, it'll automatically load all your stuff onto your character in one shot, rather than having to go into the tower and do all that. Infusion is basically all that is. It's like if you have a gun that's at a certain light level, or a piece of armor that's at a certain light level, you can trade it out for something that's higher, and you end up losing that higher thing because you're basically stealing its light level into whatever gun you're trying to do it in. Usually, it used to take a ton of materials and glimmer and legendary shards and all this other stuff. Now it's just one thing, which is beautiful.
Have you tried those apps since Shadowkeep launched?
Well, here I actually have my phone. The reason I was looking at my phone just now was because so my Ishtar Commander is up and running, and
I have not been able to get any of the apps I used to work yet.
Yep, I have Ishtar Commander up, and it is working.
Okay, maybe it's got to reinstall.
I didn't even reinstall it. It updated. I know Bungie was talking about that today on Twitter, actually, about they were resetting it. But you can also use the native Destiny 2 app too.
Sucks.
It does. But
it. So, Brendhan, do you think you're going to go back? Do you think you're going to stick with Destiny?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I've enjoyed the heck out of it so far. Just waiting for crossplay so that all my friends on PC.
I was gonna say Destiny. I found the number one thing I always say about Destiny is you can get so far in it playing on your own, but when you actually get into a clan and you have a regular group of friends that you run with, it becomes a whole game.
Especially Iron Banner time.
Oh my god, and Iron Banner is so fun.
Can't wait.
I know.
All right.
I think that's one of the things that's going to keep me there is that it is fun enough to play on your own. Yeah. That's the thing that I struggle with lots of MMORPGs. Well,
that's because you can choose, right? You can choose to either play on your own but if you want to raid, you have to have a team. If you want to do certain things, you have to have a team. It's stupid not to. Even Iron Banner, it's really hard to queue an Iron Banner by yourself. You can do it. It's more fun with a group though.
But you have a lot of LFGs out there. The Reddit LFGs, the Destiny LFG Discord. There are tons of sources to find other people to play with, though. So you're never alone.
Never.
That's what he's trying to say. But back up to you, Jay. You had one more game on there that I am very curious.
One more game. Yes,
that's a good lead in.
I started playing because I'm such a fan of Zelda. The Switch. I will say right now, did either of you two play it on Game Boy, the original?
Yes.
Okay. This game, I will tell you this right now, because I played Link's Awakening on my Game Boy growing up. I was always a huge Zelda fan, so I played the hell out of this game. This is a pixel by pixel recreation of that game. It does have updated. The graphics are yet again really weird. They're not what we're used to seeing in a Zelda game. This is more of a kind of a 3D, a flat 3D. Link. It's not the cell shade of Breath of the Wild. It's not open environment. This is more like, it looks more like Link to the Past if it was done in 3D now. But dude, I've watched videos on this on YouTube and stuff, and they say like if on the original Game Boy version, if there was a tree in this spot, there's a tree in this spot in this game. I mean, it's the same game. It's recreated the same exact game.
Do you like that?
I love that because I'm a nostalgic player. So basically it's like they took the Game Boy and they put it in the Switch and you can play it kind of like an emulator, but with updated graphics, obviously.
I love the graphics.
They're different. They're very cartoony, very little kid cartoony.
Mm-hmm.
But it's amazing. It's fun. It's super fun.
I mean, that's the aesthetic that the Game Boy kind of had, so they just took it and brought it into modern graphics.
Yeah. It's a very polished game. The stories are the same. The missions are the same. So if you remember the stuff from playing it on Game Boy, you'll remember it now again. And I love recreations of games. When we talked a while back, we talked about Resident Evil 2, being a recreation, which is amazing. We're looking forward to Final Fantasy VII with being a remake. And, we got all these games that are coming out where they're really playing on us like 30 to 40 somethings of bringing back our favorite games, and which is amazing. So, if you're into Zelda and you liked the original, or even if you like Link to the Past and games like that, you're definitely gonna like this game. They didn't add too many new frills to it or whatever. There's a couple things here and there, but they didn't really add much to it. It's just the same game, and I love that. I really do.
Yeah.
So
that's
if you like it,
I want to check out. How far into it are you?
For a game like that, I think for a game like that, that's what you got to do, right?
Yeah.
If they had changed the story or they had changed anything about it, then everyone would be up in arms about it.
I've been playing it pretty passively. I've only played probably a total of about hours.
Okay.
And I'm trying so this is, and I love doing this as well. Trying to do this without any reference. I'm trying to do this without looking online or looking at a book. Back in the day, you would look cheap.
Oh my gosh!
A guidebook. I'm trying so hard to just remember it. And from what I'm like, oh, I remember you had to go to this person to get this thing and go back to here. And I'm trying so hard to do that. And it's not easy. It's not an easy game by any means.
If you end up having to look it up, you have to find an original Link's Awakening guidebook. No internet. You just got to order one.
You just got to get it off the BBS.
Because I remember when I was playing Breath of the Wild, I remember just being online constantly. How the hell do I do this?
Yeah. I remember that. That's good to hear, though. I like how they kind of keep some of the old, all of the nostalgic feeling with it. Like if you went here, this is what would happen, and you're seeing the same thing in the Switch version.
And you definitely are. And there's a lot of reference. They did add a little bit of that kind of stuff. I know they said that they're going to be redoing Link to the Past, which say goodnight when that happens because you'll never see me again. We'll be podcasting. I'll be playing on my Switch.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so that's what I've been keeping busy. I'm still trying to find as much time as for gaming as I can, but Destiny 2 is obviously going to eat a lot of my time up. Link's Awakening is eating a lot of that time up. You and I played Apex, which that never goes away. We always play Apex.
I love Apex.
So that's what I've been playing.
All right. Brandon, what do you got?
I mean, so we touched on my Destiny 2 stuff already. So, I mean, the other thing I wanted to talk about was Apple Arcade, right? I don't know if you guys are Apple or Android guys, but
Apple
came out
Android all the way.
With the Apple Arcade stuff, right? So, have you checked it out at all yet?
I'm about to.
It's worth it. Just having access to the up to 100 some odd now games for no additional cost, $4.99 a month. This sounds like an ad, I know. But without any of the ads, without any of the microtransactions, any of that stuff, you just get a chance to download and just play games on a mobile device, which hasn't happened in years. That's awesome. It's amazing. A couple of games that I've really liked, I've really enjoyed. What was it called? I don't have my iPad here, so I can't look it up.
It was a good game.
Grindstone, I believe. That was the one that basically what you are is you're like a Viking and you're working your way through like bugs. It's kind of like a Candy Crush, but but you're like killing bugs, trying to fight your way to the top of the mountain to get the gold so that you can take your family on vacation.
Mm-hmm. How big are the games? Do the games seem like they take up a lot of space?
They vary in size. I mean, anywhere from like tiny to pretty big. I mean, there are a couple of them that are like full size, like couple of gigabytes games.
Okay. So if I have an iPad and I've got an iPhone, do I need a separate subscription for each one, or is it all account based?
No, I mean it's all account based. In fact, it's family plans, right? So
cool.
For $4.99 a month, up to 6 people in your family on is get Apple Arcade.
Nice. Like, what about cloud saves?
Killer deal. Yeah, it's all cloud saved through.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's awesome.
Yep. And given the recent news from PlayStation, PS4, you can hook your PS4 controller up to your iPad and play that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've heard that.
I've heard that works really good, as a matter of fact.
So there was another game, Impossible Road, that I picked up, which is kind of like a ball steering down a lane thing that I was using the controller for. It's awesome. It's epic.
Nice. I'm looking at it right now, and I really want to.
You get a free month, right?
Mm-hmm. You get a free month.
Yeah. I just can't do it. Google, I know Google. I don't know too much of the details about it, but I know Google launched a similar program for apps and games. Does not seem like it is as well received as Apple's taking.
So it's very different from what I've seen. It's not just games. It's not gaming focused. It's just kind of an area that you can pay $4.99 a month to get any of your apps that are in there ad free.
Yeah, I saw like they had some weather apps in there and stuff like that. I was just kind of like, yeah. But Apple's been trying to get into kind of the game space for a while.
They have. They're trying to break into everything. Games, TV, right? So you buy a new iPhone now and you get the TV Plus for a year.
Yeah, I saw that. Another.
One More Game podcast is not affiliated nor sponsored.
Not endorsed.
Yes, no, I mean, like, definitely not. But, you know, it's what's going on in the Apple world, right? So.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
true. Love it.
All right. I think we'll probably take a stab at news since we're already crushing this podcast right now.
Crushing.
Respawn. We heard. They were coming out with some new games, a couple of, IPs that they were working on, but I did not expect it to be this one. Medal of Honor. Either of you guys play it?
VR. No, but they're doing VR. That's going to be crazy.
They are. Now, let me tell you something first. As I would say a VR professional, but I will not, because half the time I play a VR game, if it's not Beat Saber, I feel like I'm going to throw up. Not what I was expecting. Respawn, one of their titles. It's going to be an Oculus exclusive. It's going to be a Medal of Honor VR game. Medal of Honor Above and Beyond. And they're going to take some of those levels, like you're basically fighting Nazis, again, more or less. But if you played Medal of Honor, you have to remember storming the beach. Mm-hmm. That was one of the best levels I think I've ever played in a game. You're sitting there fighting up the beach. You got these mortar pits and all this other stuff going on. You're dying like 100 times trying to get to the beach. But it really, I feel like, captured, in video game sense, the essence of what it was like being a soldier, there fighting, as close as you could get, in a video game. The fact that they're doing with this VR is mildly terrifying. But I was really surprised to see that. And there's been some people who have been able to play it. They had one of the guys from The Verge got to spend 45 minutes with it and was glowing about it. Said it was fantastic. If you've played Marvel Powers United VR, I have, mainly because my kids love that one. There's 2 ways for you to move. You can kind of like casting a fishing line, right? Highlight it, click over there, and then you're going to kind of teleport over there, or you can free move over there. But the guy who played the 45 minutes said it was an absolute blast. Now, they do, like with typical VR shooting games right now, you have to do the hand motion of loading the magazine, depending on the weapon that you're using, charge the receiver or use a charging handle, what have you, and do all that kind of stuff. So there's a couple of extra things that you would typically just press a button for. But I was rather shocked to hear that one of these titles was going to be a VR-centered title.
Nice. VR soldiers today, remotely piloted ones tomorrow.
They are. I'm going to check it out. Respawn won me over with Apex. Titanfall I thought was good. I'll be very curious to see how this one kind of takes off, because FPSs in VR, man, I am just not a big fan on. I like what they're trying to do. It's just one of those things that's not for me. I know a lot of people like them, but that stuff.
I think it's hard to execute, right? I mean, just the amount of actions to kind of make it feel semi-realistic is above and beyond,
right,
what a lot of other games have to do for the shooter.
Yeah. No, for sure. I agree. We'll see that one comes out. I want to say it's early next year. They're expecting that one to launch. So be on the lookout for that. I'll definitely be talking about that one. I've got another VR title actually that a developer sent our way for an unlock code that I'll be checking out probably this weekend. Don't want to name it yet. Want to check it out. We'll have that for the next episode. We'll try to do some kind of stream for it. Be a perfect test field for that kind of stuff. To get our VR game up. But I'll hit one more news story because I know our time's kind of getting up there and we're crushing it. I do want to talk about this one because it's Jay's favorite topic.
Loot boxes.
Fucking loot boxes. All right. So
that's your favorite topic, not mine.
I know. Brendhan kind of touched on it. We'll get that one out of the way. So Spec Ops cooperative mode launches with Modern Warfare coming out soon, later in October if you didn't know. Spec Ops is a cooperative mode that's exclusive to the PlayStation 4 platform for a full year. A full year. For a game that has a few modes, they're taking an entire mode and saying, okay, this is going to be for a year.
It's either going to be a huge success on PlayStation
or a huge failure.
Yeah.
The biggest flop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Now, here's one of my funny things. Here's one of the funny things. As Reddit does, people dive into this kind of stuff and give you numbers. So Infinity Ward claims that Spec Ops is actually only about 1% of the content available in Modern Warfare. Well, there's a challenge to that. And this comes from the gaming revolution. Survival makes up 50% of Spec Ops, with the missions being the other 50%. There's 3 game modes at launch: campaign, multiplayer, and co-op. So 1/6 equals 16.6% of the game is PS4 exclusive content. Spec Ops isn't just a measly add-on. That's a big deal. Like, you're gating, and by the time you get here next year, you're already talking about the next Call of Duty game.
Yeah. Or it's already out. I mean, it's not even just talking about it, right? A year from now, there's already another one.
Yeah, for sure. And I hate. But you know what? I wonder if Sony's saying, okay, look, the crossplay stuff, now it's good to go, because they've had a deal, I feel like, with Activision for Call of Duty for quite some time. That's kind of how it's been for a while now, right? Way back in the day, it was Xbox. Now it's PlayStation's turn. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But to pile dirt on, if we're not done talking about it yet, there's more bad news for Call of Duty fans concerning Modern Warfare. There is a reliable source that goes on to say loot boxes will be in Modern Warfare that include weapons, not skins, not just cosmetic items, but actual weapons.
Yeah, once you get behind, or once you go beyond cosmetics, then loot boxes are no good.
I mean, if that's the case, as excited as I am for this game, I think I'll have to pass on it. But that's just something that I personally can't support.
Yeah, and I think that's a stance like everybody has to take, and that is why, well, one of the reasons why I'm saying it's not a day one buy for me. I think once you actually start charging for the balance, after you've paid that $60 entry fee, and now you're charging basically to advance in the game, be an edge in the game, because some of those guns are going to be better than base weapons. Let's be honest here. You're changing the nature of the game, and that shit just ain't right.
I mean, it's pay to win.
It is.
There will be, yeah.
Essentially. But That's kind of my bit. There's concern about netcode for Call of Duty. Honestly, when I played it, I didn't think it was that bad. I played it pretty good. Seems to be the big bad news coming out of Modern Warfare is going to be the loot boxes and the weapons and the mode, which I'm not really too concerned about because I'm not buying it right away anyways.
Nope.
Who's up? Who's got something?
I didn't have any headlines, but I did want to bring up one thing. It was all like last week and stuff like that, and it wasn't necessarily a headline. Well, I guess it kind of was, but did anybody, like any of you guys, like keep track of what was going on at TwitchCon? Like TwitchCon happened last week.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard a lot about that.
The first thing was, and the main thing was, did anybody see the picture of all the beers on the table?
Yes.
Okay.
That is just date rape waiting to happen.
Well, the thing is, though, you can't joke about it because it actually happened.
What?
A streamer did post that she had to go to the hospital because she had like a very high barbiturates.
More than just one.
Or benzos,
right? So
yeah. Well,
the one I saw did mention that she wasn't at a Twitch event.
It was at a Discord
party.
Streamers. It was at a Discord party. Right. That one was. But what was Twitch thinking? Just having like a ton of beers on the table, like open to anybody and everybody. But at the same time, what were people thinking drinking them? Like, I mean, that goes both ways, right?
I mean, a lot of people didn't.
Would you? Dude,
no.
I love myself some free beer, but I am not going to go to a bar and drink beer off of a table.
So has Twitch done the Heisman yet and blamed it on the contractor that they hired to go ahead and serve all the alcohol?
I don't think Twitch has said anything.
I think they just hoped it would blow over.
Yeah.
And it will.
Okay, so I mean, but to say like for the most part, 99% of the part, most everyone said that TwitchCon was a big success and it was whatever, you know, and that's great. But I thought that story was just crazy because, like I said, I was on Twitter before TwitchCon and all I saw was like stories of like, especially female streamers telling, kind of like laying down the laws and laying down the rules, like don't do this, don't, you know, whatever. Because I mean, hey, gamers get weird, you know, like people think that just because they sub to somebody that they owe them something. So it got crazy. And then they had this open beer thing and it was just like, man, it just seems like a nightmare. Like, I don't know. I read it and then I read soon after where they said that, yes, indeed, people were going to the hospital because they had, you know, they've been roofied or they've been whatever else. Jesus. Yeah, like, I don't know, man. Twitch, and of course, this is just another thing where people's like, nope, I'm going to Mixer because, you know, screw Twitch. I don't want it. Right. Oh. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe people are just looking right now, but.
So with that said, they also launched the new look. How do you feel? How do you guys feel about the new look of Twitch?
From a graphic design point, no. Nope. It looks bad. I don't like it. I don't like the layout. I don't like the way it looks. That's just me. I don't like their new logo and like whatever. They changed a bunch of shit. And for me, I thought it looked better originally. Twitch, call me if you ever want this stuff taken care of because boy, just something wrong with this.
What do you think, Brendhan?
I mean, I haven't had a lot of chance to dig into it yet, but I mean, I'm fairly indifferent. I wasn't really a huge fan of it before. I'm still not a huge fan of it. So
yeah,
you know, when it's mediocre to begin with, changing it to something else that's mediocre doesn't really make it
more mediocre, right?
Yeah, I full screen it if I'm watching it 9 times out of 10, so I don't even see all the pretty graphics that they have on there. So
yeah, I do wish that there was a full screen with chat mode.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't even use it anymore. Really, I use it if I'm streaming.
Yeah.
So I don't even have to have Twitch up anymore to read my chat, so I don't have to look at this ugly ass thing.
TwitchCon had happened. By and large, it seemed pretty tame outside of all that craziness. Man, I can't believe that actually happened. I remember seeing it and being like, that's like a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Did you guys read though that like there's that one chick who like I said, like a lot of like female streamers were like laying down, which I mean is common sense shit, right? Like don't corner a female streamer and you know, just because it's bad form. Right. Or like the one chick who was like saying like if you see me, if there's a girl alone in an elevator, don't go in it. Get the next one. It's like, oh my goodness, these people.
Well, I feel like at some of these wasn't there like I don't want to say it was maybe E3, like, or maybe some other partner event for Twitch, but like there's been like people who have gone missing and like found days later or stuff along those lines. I feel like has been a thing before.
It has been.
Okay.
I don't know. Like in this kind of culture, you can expect it. I understand why the girls say that kind of stuff, especially the girls. I'm not going to single them all out, but I mean, you know what I mean? I understand why they say it, because fucking dudes are weird, especially gamer dudes. Yeah. They can't be. They're lonely.
Especially those who donate to those streamers who feel
that's what I mean.
Like they have a place in their heart now simply because I gave you money.
Yeah, and like you don't like just because you sub, and that's kind of what the quote unquote joke was they were saying like, oh, I've been a tier 3 sub for the past 6 months. You can at least say hi to me. Like, no.
Right. It's people who forget that. You can see them, but they can't see you back. Mm-hmm. Right? The streamer knows you by your username. They have no idea who you are.
Sure.
Right. If they even know your username, right? You could have been a sub for forever and they have no idea who you are.
Dude, unfortunately in this whole culture we live in with streaming and all that stuff, if you're a streamer that's got 1,000 subs, you are not going to remember everybody. You can't. And you can't be offended when they don't. You can't. But
people get offended at that all the time.
Sure. It's a self-entitlement.
Sub for you for 6 months and you have no idea who I am. Like, yeah, you and the 1,000 other people who subbed to this.
Sorry. Right. Yeah. It's like, that's like going up to well, I bought your CD. Well, yeah. Well, I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I said, I would never go to a TwitchCon. I don't think that would be for me. I don't care. I'm not a big streamer by any means, but I just don't. I don't really see myself it's an industry event, people that are looking for, they're looking for sponsors, they're looking for whatever, which is cool. That's fine. You do you, but I don't know. Yeah. I just don't get it. But like I said,
if I was going to do like one of those streamery gaming type cons, I'd have to go to like one of the game focused ones. Hit Minecon, something that
come down to GCX next year. We're gonna have a ball.
Yeah, Guardian Con and whatever else that's focused on a single game, a single thing. Mm-hmm. Right. That's got to be way better than
cat eating.
Yes.
Cat eating.
Can't go an episode with that. Not cat eating, but yeet.
I said yeet.
No, I know you did. I'm just making it clear for the crowd.
We don't eat cats on this podcast. We eat cats.
Brendhan, what kind of news you got for us?
Well, so I want to hit on. I already hit on Apple Arcade stuff. We'll talk about PlayStation State of Play, right? As I said, at the top of the show, I'm right now a console guy. I'm a PS4 guy. There's some interesting stuff in there. Were you guys able to catch it?
I caught highlights of it.
Dude, I was just happy with the free games. Last of Us and the show. Oh my goodness, dude. Thanks. Yeah. Both.
So, the big one right off the top, Last of Us Part 2 coming out in February.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big one. I personally haven't played Last of Us. I'm going to be starting to play that, right? So
oh my gosh, I am so jealous of you that you have not had that experience yet, because
and like I said, it's free this month, dude.
Yeah,
you can get it right now and play it
with the new graphics on the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, you are in for a friggin' treat.
I'm excited. I am so ready.
That game's going to scare. I hope it scares the shit out of you.
Not everybody are pussies like.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm so scared sometimes. I love it.
I've heard that there's some real scary parts and some real tearjerker parts too. So.
It's an investing game, dude. You will invest in the game.
Emotionally taxing, that. I think is honestly the last game where I felt emotionally taxed playing it.
Well, I'm excited. I'm thrilled that it's happening now, where I'm kind of getting set up and doing the streaming stuff and gonna get to do it and share it with folks and experience it in this way. So it's gonna be awesome. I
saw you can get a limited edition PlayStation Death Stranding PS4 Pro bundle.
Yep.
My only question is Norman Reedus's piss embossed onto the top of it, splatter, piss splatter.
You're so hung up on the fact that you can pee in that game, aren't you? That's your thing. That's your selling point. That's just
that is going to be what rates that game.
It's the only thing I know about Death Stranding.
Yeah, that's what's getting people to talk about that game.
Mm-hmm. No, what's getting people to talk about it is that nobody knows what it is.
Yeah, dude,
what's going on in this game?
Are you guys going to play it?
Mm-hmm.
Day one play?
Not day one.
I don't know about day one.
Okay.
But I'm
the Death Stranding servers are posted down.
Well, it's good thing that you don't have to rely too much on that, because it does have the stuff though, like where you can leave notes. And we talked about it with Rocket Cast too, where you can kind of leave notes like ladder ahead, and kind of, man, I always forget the name of those games. The really tough ones like Bloodborne and
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls. Thanks. Yeah. Which I love leaving some of those notes. Those things were amazing.
Heck yeah.
But
I love reading. Yeah, they're always hilarious.
Yep.
Because people are always trying to tell you like either the wrong thing or just dumb things,
Yeah.
So there's that. There's a bunch of other. There's a remake type deal for like Katamari Damacy. Some based on that. I guess it's I don't know. It looked weird. Looked strange.
It looked like Death Stranding.
There's a game called Arise, a simple story. It's coming. It's some you're a character in a town, building a town, action adventure type thing. LA Noire VR.
I remember playing that one. I played the first one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming to VR. It's it looks like it's new stuff, new stories, kind of in the same universe as LA Noire, not the same game over again, redone. So that should be interesting for some folks. Civ 6. The big ones, of course, were Death Stranding and The Last of Us 2.
A game like Civ 6, I have not played any of those on a console, but I remember playing Civilization back in the day. Have either of you guys played those games on consoles?
I haven't. I played Civ back when I was, on the PC.
Can you imagine playing that on a console?
I mean, if they change some of the controls, if it's mostly a select and build type game, so I could see it. I mean,
man,
it'd be a little bit slower paced. It's not StarCraft, so you're not really bound by, hey, you had to be fast because you're up against somebody. Yeah,
I guess so. Maybe I'm thinking of others. I swear Civ had like a lot of the kind of point and click with the mouse stuff going on.
Yeah, I'm
thinking Age of Empires. I could be totally off.
I think they both did. They both had that point and click stuff. But if you kind of just take that and translate the mouse into a joystick, where you still have the pointer or whatever else.
Right.
What was that game? It's an old game. What was that game where you were basically God and you had to like create a planet, create a civilization, and you could either choose to be feared. I think it was called Black and White.
Yes, that was it.
Was it Black and White?
Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, derail. But
you're good. I can look that up. Because this dude, like the developer, Peter, oh my gosh, he's gone like apeshit crazy over the years, it seems like. Mm-hmm. He's been involved with a couple of Kickstarters that haven't materialized. Oh my gosh, what was Peter Molyneux? Peter Molyneux, I don't know, Peter something. But Peter this guy's like always in the well, he's frequently in the news for stuff. On things that have not surfaced or haven't materialized. Kotaku has like 20 articles on crap that he hasn't delivered on. Yes, thanks. Yeah, Peter Molyneux. That is definitely him. If you can help me with the pronunciation, it'd be even better. Thanks, Rocket Punch. But that guy's name, like Black and White. Actually, I really enjoyed that game. I remember playing that way back in the day. The concept of it was cool. And then, man, I feel like his name has been attached to so many other things that have just, like, spun out.
He's one of the guys behind Fable, right?
Was he with Fable? Well, you got me fact-checking.
That's where I'm familiar with him from, was the Fable series.
Molyneux. Okay, sweet. Thank you all.
Thanks, Rocket.
Thanks for the save on that one. All right, let's take a look at his games.
You're the best, man.
So, Bullfrog Productions, Fusion, Powermonger, Flood. I'm just skimming Theme Park, skimming through them.
Wikipedia's got like Populous, Syndicate,
Lionhead Studios. Okay, you're right. Fable.
Dungeon
Good
Keeper,
call.
Fable. Yep.
Good call. Okay, so they did have a Black and White 2, lead designer. A lot of Fables. Man, I did not realize how involved with Fable he was. But I feel like a lot of those games kind of fizzled out and people were like super ticked about some stuff that he did or didn't do. I don't know. But man, Black and White, you threw that one back, dude. Way to go, Jay.
I remember, dude. I love that game.
That game was really cool. There was a game that came out on the Epic Store that I actually thought about checking out. And of course, now that I bring that up, I'm not going to remember the name. But essentially, you are like an ape, or like a primate. And you start by like as a baby, you learn how to swing, you learn how to make fire and all this other stuff. And actually the concept of it seemed pretty cool. And then I started looking at the reviews and I was like, and you can't take everything by the reviews. I totally get that. But the concept for the game actually looked pretty cool. I'm going to pull it up now because I'm going to check this thing out.
The Humankind Odyssey, was that it?
Yes. Yes. That should be it. Humankind.
If you Google Epic Games ape game.
Yeah, Ancestors, the Humankind. Yeah.
Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey.
And what's crazy is 97% of Google users liked it, but I'm telling you, the game didn't review that hot for some reason. A lot of people, for some reason, may not have cared for it. This was early on, so maybe this is after they grew on it, which leads me to one derail real quick. I really like how Steam, when you do a review, is now posting how many hours you actually have in said game that you're reviewing.
That's good, though.
I like that a lot.
Honest review then.
But it's hard to judge them otherwise.
Yeah,
that's one thing.
Yeah, for sure. I'd be curious, Jay, if you would play that game though, how you would like that if you liked Black and White, because a little bit different, but still kind of the same with some of that stuff.
Yeah, I like world building games. I think.
Yeah, you got to survive your evolution. You could become the first monkey.
I would just stay a monkey.
You would just stay a monkey.
Stay a monkey.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look more into that game.
Monkeys and play it.
Oh, it's out on PS4 and Xbox One too. Didn't know that.
There you go.
But
might have to check it out.
There is that. All right, let's see what else we're supposed to touch on. Oh, you've got one more. Do you want to hit on this?
Got one more. Let's talk about Mario Kart Tour.
And this is mobile Mario Kart, right?
It's Tour. Yep.
Of course it is.
I know nothing bad about this, so if you crush my hopes, I'm going to be upset because I want to play it.
I am going to crush your hopes and dreams, Dan.
Oh.
This game is one to avoid, like 100%. It is pay to win all the way. Everything about it. You get a couple of drivers, a couple of carts right off the bat, and then everything else is premium currency from there on out, which you can earn by logging in every day, but otherwise, I haven't seen a way to get it. You can get like one driver every once in a while through like the actual race coins, which you earn about 10 to 15 a race, but they cost 800 coins in the store per driver. Same with the carts. The carts and stuff I don't think are even available. That way you got to get them through what they call shooting things out of the pipe, which use rubies. Rubies are your premium currency.
I like how they did that Mario reference there, shooting them out of the pipe.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You can do 100 shots per pipe, and the pipes last about 5 days. And you're only guaranteed to get one character that's the suggested character, and that's only if you do all 100 shots.
Wow.
Right. Dang. So everything else is just totally random chance, and duplicates kind of give levels. So like you don't even start with Mario. You start with Toad and a Peach.
What a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, you can get Mario for $20.
Wait a second.
Yep.
Wait a second. Mario costs $20.
Yep.
$20.
Dude, that's like Apex bad. Holy smokes. $20. That is mind-blowing. Yes. What do you start with?
Toad and Peach. Baby Peach.
So you got Toad, Baby Peach. What kind of go-kart do you get?
Just the basic.
Do the racers have different attributes?
Yeah, so it's all based on the levels. So each of them has there's a preferred cart and all that stuff. So you get different things in the race based on your the driver you've got and the course it is and the cart that it is. You get different boosts, you get different bonus points, you get different number of the little item box things. You get between 1 and 3, right? So I mean it's an interesting game in the mechanics. It's not an interesting game in the fact that everything costs you money.
So if they did away with the monetization stuff of it, would you like it a lot more?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be a fun game. The controls need a little bit of work. Drift turn mode or in regular steering mode, there's no combination steering mode where you can do regular turns and drift turns from what I've seen.
Does it do the controller tilt?
I think you can do. I played only in tap mode. I haven't. I hadn't played in tilt mode at all because I was playing sitting down on a desk and not holding it up.
Yeah, I can tell you when I don't really play those kinds of games.
Yeah, right.
I can't say it on stream.
Right. It's that thing that
probably the same way Jay plays those kinds of games.
Right. So, but you had to pick, right? When you start, you had to pick, do you want to be in drift control mode or in regular turn?
Okay. Yeah.
So it kind of gave the impression that there was only one or the other. Right. And then, so the thing that really left a bad taste in my mouth was just the pay to win aspect of it. Everything is locked behind the premium currency.
That really sucks to hear. I feel like that they have messed up every single game that they've launched. Like with Mario, I thought there was some similar stuff going on with it.
So Mario was slightly different because you could pay $10 and get the whole game. Right. So it was kind of like it was free and you could play everything, but you had to wait based on like the lives, or you could pay your $10 and unlock everything.
Right. Okay.
I don't play mobile, so really
not yet because you're getting that Apple Arcade one. Oh yeah, people are all over this Mario Kart microtransaction thing.
Also, there is no multiplayer right now, right? So it'd be one thing if you could play with your friends, but like, nope, no multiplayer launch.
Wait,
the whole game's multiplayer. Let's not confuse here. The whole game is multiplayer, right? You are playing against other people, racing other people.
But you can't play in your own.
But you can't do
local race
against your own friends.
Hmm.
To even add friends, you have to wait for ranks, right? So they don't even have ranking, so that you can add friends.
Well, I feel like that multiplayer is something Nintendo has gotten. They've been the last person to really kind of address every single generation because you had like friend codes for a while. They seem to just not get multiplayer stuff right. Or maybe it's just not important to them. I don't know. That seems to always be a real issue. I think they kind of fixed it a bit more with the Switch, but it seems like multiplayer stuff is just, if you want to play multiplayer games, you don't go to a Nintendo console. You don't go to Nintendo.
But it's one thing on the Switch. It's one thing on the handheld stuff, but on a platform that everybody has, that so many games are multiplayer and so many games do just that. Yeah. Right? You look at games like World of Warships, like Golf with Friends, with
right.
Words with Friends. There's so many older games that are based purely around multiplayer. New games all the time coming out that are based purely around multiplayer. Why would you make a racing game that's historically one of your most successful multiplayer games
and screw it up?
Not multiplayer.
I just saw too that you can get a $4.99 monthly Gold Pass subscription.
Oh, you basically have to unlock half the content.
That is nuts, man.
Like I hate the fastest races, 200cc racing is locked behind that $4.99 monthly.
That's disappointing.
Challenges, gifts, yeah, they lock a bunch of stuff behind it. And then there's the set that's got Mario in it and a bunch of and the star ticket, and I don't even know what the star ticket's for.
You can't even get the lead character of the game, Mario, without paying $20. Like,
or
it's not Toad Kart.
A bunch of random chance pipe fires.
Well, according to the app data website Apptopia, Mario Kart Tour shattered launch day records with more than 10.1 million installs across iOS and Android devices.
That was highly anticipated. People expected it to be really good.
And I bet you people spent a shit ton of money on it.
Probably.
They wanted Mario.
I want Mario, but
wait until they come out with Mario Kart loot boxes. You might get a Mario.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the pipe basically is.
Yeah. You have to pay for the loot box though to find out if you're getting a banana peel or a red turtle shell.
Right.
Golly.
That's for another episode. That's for another Dan rant.
That's for another rant. Man, it's a long episode. You guys got anything else?
I think that does it for me, guys.
Before we go, I do have one other thing I want to cover. I forgot about this one because we did talk about it. I do just want to cover for those new to Destiny or still trying to figure out exactly what they get with all this. I want to cover that stuff real quick. Takes less than 2 minutes. But let's just talk about Destiny New Light and Shadowkeep. So Destiny New Light is actually what the free-to-play game is basically right now. So you can play immediately. You can enjoy all kinds of content. You'll be able to visit the entirety of the solar system in free roam and all this other stuff without restrictions. You also get access to PvP modes in the Crucible, maps and playlists, all kinds of stuff. Destiny 2 New Light gives you the entirety of Destiny 2's Year 1 content. Basically, everything that launched 2 years ago. For Year 1, that means Red War, story, campaign, strikes, activities. Curse of Osiris, campaign, strikes, and activities. Warmind campaign, strikes, activities. All Year 1 Nightfall strikes. All Year 1 raids. Raid lairs, associated gear. All Year 1 exotics. That's not even talking about Year 2 yet. Holy smokes. This is a lot of free stuff they're giving for this. I bought a season pass to this game. From Year 2, you're getting all Black Armory forges, Gambit Prime, Reckoning, Menagerie, all gear from the above activities, except exotics, only Thunderlord, Arbalest, Outbreak Perfected, and Bad Juju from Year 2 exotics. Dude, that is a lot of stuff you're getting for free. Now, what you're not getting, and this part I don't like, I don't see why they just didn't give Forsaken stuff. You're not getting Forsaken stuff. If you're just playing off the new free stuff, you have to actually buy the Forsaken content, which I think is $20 maybe.
Or Shadowkeep.
Yeah, or Shadowkeep.
So you get all the Forsaken content with Shadowkeep.
No. If you buy Shadowkeep, you still do not have access to Forsaken stuff. I saw
something that said that wasn't true. That buying Shadowkeep did grant you access to the Forsaken.
I thought you needed to have Forsaken to get Shadow.
No, you don't. So here you go. So we'll cover all that here in a second. How much for all this stuff you're getting, right? So assuming you're completely new to Destiny 2 and you want to have access to all content, you got to spend $60 because you got to buy the Forsaken Complete Edition, which is $25, and Shadowkeep, which is $35. That gets you everything, including the season pass for what we got going on right now. For everything. So that is the one really crappy part, I think, about all this. I don't see why Forsaken is separate. It could have, at a minimum, been included with Shadowkeep, I think, because I've got like a gap right now. I'm not dropping $25 for Forsaken on PC when I've got it on Xbox. You know?
Well, it's the same as like if you're doing crossplay. Bought it for my PlayStation. I have to buy it on my PC to cross save.
Yeah. And I mean, to be fair, though, I don't think Forsaken is necessarily, it's not a have to have if you got Shadowkeep and stuff like that, because you're essentially kind of playing older content. The big thing you may be missing out, might be on the weapons. But I don't think you're missing out on much if you don't go with it. So I just wanted to clarify because we had a question come across Twitter on some of that stuff. And we apparently are still figuring some of this stuff out because it seems like it's been pretty confusing with some of the messages they've been sending. And the reason I know for sure about that is because I got Shadowkeep, did not, splurge and buy the whole pack for all the season passes. I just want one because I want to make sure I'm going to go ahead and play it all. I think it's a bit much. So the Forges also isn't Gambit Prime included with Forsaken.
So, I mean, Gambit Prime is part of Forsaken, but Gambit Prime is part of the free
Year 2
stuff that they're rolling out in New Light.
Yep.
So
they cherry picked
everything, right? Everything that was Forsaken except for the campaign and some of the exotics.
Yep. Yeah. And we'll link to the article that, like, this article, I think, kind of breaks it down from VG 24/7 pretty good. Because, like, I was confused at first, too. I thought if I got Shadowkeep, I got all that stuff. I'm not paying $60 for it. Whatever. It's okay. Forsaken was cool, but
whatever.
Yeah. If I want to play it, I'll play it on Xbox.
I'll say, from my perspective, I picked up Forsaken before the Shadowkeep launch, right? Knowing that there was a lot of content to get to before I even got the Shadowkeep, right? So I picked it up because, and I think this, for brand new players, this might be the way to go. Get Forsaken, play through the content, play through all the Forsaken stuff, and then when you get to it, buy Shadowkeep then, right? You spend $25 now, spend 3-6 months, getting.
If you wait, it'll drop.
By the time you get to Shadowkeep will be $20-$25 as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and Forsaken will drop too.
Less overall.
There is more than enough content. Yeah, there's more than enough content right now to keep anybody busy with just New Light alone. I think it's really cool what they're doing. Personally, and I'm maybe being a hater a little bit, I would have liked to have seen some kind of, and I don't know if they've talked about it, but some kind of like a package or something for veterans who have already invested money, in these previous seasons of content, and the other, expansions and stuff. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't toss some silver, some in-game currency their way. I thought I saw at one point there was talk about it, but I don't think anything's been confirmed.
I think part of the reserving some of the Forsaken content behind the Forsaken paywall was kind of their nod to, hey, we realize you paid for this stuff. We're not just going to give everybody free, right? So in lieu of silver, they just said, hey, we'll keep some of this stuff exclusive content for those people who bought.
Yeah. They cherry picked. I was just double checking some of that stuff. They did cherry pick some of the stuff from Forsaken that's coming out free. But yeah, Forsaken, you get 2 exotic or year 2 exotics, year 2 exotic quests, 2 nightfalls, year 2 strikes, raids, blah, blah, blah. Enjoy what you got now. It's amazing. I want to go play Shadowkeep, actually, right now. You guys got anything else?
I don't. So I'm gonna go dive into either some Apex or some Destiny.
Apex or Destiny. I saw CT Gamer over there diving in the moon last night. I know he's out there playing some Destiny. Jay, me and you, we have a date in some multiplayer. Kind of 1v1 for a bit. See if I'm Team Hydra ready. I was watching Dodgeball the other day, and the whole Viper thing, when they do like the dance coming out, that's thing. You know what I'm talking about? Any Dodgeball fans? No?
I do.
I thought it was hilarious. That's just me, though. I guess that's the point when we should say, you know where to find us. Bearded, thanks for joining us. I have a feeling you could be on the next one and the one after.
Absolutely, Jim.
And the one after.
That's true.
Jay, you want to take us away?
I can. Do I have to? I always forget all of I mean, it's pretty simple.
It is.
Yeah. So you can find us on Twitter at 1MoreGame. See, I'm so bad at it. 1MoreGamecast.
1MoreGamecast. It's okay.
1MoreGamecast. It's all right there. It's literally on our overlay, right?
Yeah, it is.
Twitter at 1MoreGamecast. There we go. And then we also have the commands. But find us on your podcast platform of choice. We also have a command for that. Bearded.
Yeah.
Click, click, click. There it is. Bam. I love it. Yeah, this was fun.
This was good.
This was fun. We actually sort of stuck to a structure. Thank you, Rocket Punch, for slapping us in the face and getting us on track.
Yeah, for sure. And we did talk about Extra Life coming up there earlier in the episode. I don't know if you guys were able to catch that, but there's a plug for that. We are looking forward to participating.
Mm-hmm.
We should make him.
I'll see if I can make it. I'll be in Vegas.
We should make him just say bye to everybody.
Yep. First episode, you got to take us out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. It's been another episode of One More Game Cast. We will see you on the next one.
This is true.
This is true. Bye, everybody.
Could not have done it better myself. Deuces.